All right, friends, tonight for your homework, you need your math notebook, the 2 sheets that are stapled together in your red folder, and your pencils. So if you don't have that, go get that real quick. All right, I'm going to start with my notebook. So I'm going to put my sheets to the side. Go ahead and open up. Today in class, we did fraction addition models. So if you need to pause and copy any of that down, it's right there. And then we did addition of fraction with bar models. So you're going to get to use these to complete the sheet, but we're also going to make notes on page 79, which we titled addition on a number line. You are going to do something on my number line and those 2 sheets. So make sure you have that titled. All right, so we're going to start on 79, and we're going to talk about addition on a number line. So I'm going to make a real quick note, and then I'm going to let you copy it down. All right, so when you are using a number line for addition, you will be moving to the right. So anytime you're doing addition, your intervals or skips will be moving to the right. So go ahead and pause and let's write that down. Okay, so I'm going to make a number line to do a problem. Here is my number line. And my number line is going to start with 0 and end with 1. Now remember, not all number lines start with 0, but for our first example, it is. So copy that down. Then I divided mine into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. So if I divided it into 5 sections, what do we call that? We call that fifths. So this is going to be 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, and then I know this is 5/5, and when the numerator and denominator are the same, it equals 1 whole. So I'll be able to know what my denominator is based on how many pieces my number line is divided into in between the whole numbers. So not the whole entire line, but in between the whole numbers. So make sure you have that copied down. Okay, so I'm going to start at 0, and my first skip is going to be to 1/5. Then I'm going to make another one to 2/5. So then I'm going to make an addition sentence for what I just did. Well, I started at 0, and how far did I go? I went 1/5. So I'm going to do 1/5. Then I added how many more? I went 1, 2 more spots. So I added 2/5 more. And where did I end? I ended right there at 3/5. 1/5 plus 2/5 equals 3/5. That shows what happened on this number line. So let's copy that down. Okay, so now I made another number line, and this time I'm going to start with 0 again and end with 1. And I want you to count how many intervals there are, and that's going to tell us how many pieces it's broken up into. So count real quick. All right, so let's see if you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces. So that means it's tenths. So I'm going to start filling in with 1/10, 2/10, and keep going. So pause and fill yours in. All right, so there's your tenths. And I'm going to start at 0. And my first interval is going to go to 2/10. And then I'm going to skip to 6/10. Now I want you to pause and make an addition sentence just like we did here, and then we're going to check it. All right, so I went 2/10 first, And then I went 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10 more, because this is 4/10 to here. This was 2/10 to here. So I went 2/10 plus 4 more tenths, and I ended up at 6/10. Now I want you to take 6/10 and I want you to see if it is in simplest form. So go back if you need to and check your steps for simplest form. All right, so the first thing I did was write my factors for 6 and I wrote my factors for 10. I circled the ones they had in common and spirit fingers for 2 because it was the biggest. So now I'm going to divide the top by 2 and the bottom by 2. Whatever you do to the numerator, you do to the denominator. So 6 divided by 2 was 3, and 10 divided by 2 was 5. And if you look, it lines up with my other number line. So 3/5 is equivalent to 6/10, and it is in simplest form. So make sure you have that, and then we're going to go to page 78. All right, for page 78, what you're going to do is you are going to make an addition sentence for this number line right here. So it's going to go here. Then it's going to go here. So you're just going to write the number sentence down here. Then for this one, I gave you the number sentence, 4/5 plus 2/5 equals 6/5. You are going to draw a number line like that. Now, my numerator is bigger than my denominator. What do we call that? We call that an improper fraction. And I know that improper fractions usually mean one whole or more than one whole and then a little more. So your number line might go past 1. That's my hint. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let you copy that down. So pause if you need to, and then get page 54 and 55. All right, I'm going to start with page 54. The instructions say solve each problem, then write the answer in simplest form. So you're going to have to write your answers in simplest form. So think about if the numerator and denominator are only 1 apart, it's in simplest form. If your numerator is 1 and it's a unit fraction, it's in simplest form. So think about that. So let's look at the first one. 1/3 plus 2/3. Well, if I have 1/3 and add 2/3 more, how many thirds do I have? I have 3/3. Now, is 3/3 in simplest form? Let's think about that. My numerator and denominator are the same. If we have a numerator and the denominator are the same, how much is it? It's 1 whole. So that is the simplest form. So you'll do the same thing for the odd numbers. If you need, you can do your factors on the back to check to see if it's in simplest form. So let's do 1 over here. Now for page 55, your problems are written vertically. It's still the same thing. So you have 6/8 plus 7/8, or 6/8 plus 1/8. You should know the answer. I just accidentally told you. That is 7/8. And it also says to write your answer in simplest form. Is 7/8 in simplest form? Yes, because it's only 1 apart. But if I needed to, I could write the factors of 7 and write the factors of 8. Well, I know 7 is a prime number, so it's only 1 and 7. They only share 1, so it is in simplest form. So that's how you can use the back to check. And yes, use your notebook. All right, go ahead and get that done. You will turn these in tomorrow. Have a good night. And if you have any questions, type them up.